Okay, I thought I'd make a short follow-up video on this radio. I think it's called an Orpheus. I guess that's how you pronounce that. Anyway, my last video I talked about how the volume, the only way you could turn the volume down was by detuning it. However, if you would happen to detune it and there'd be another channel in the location that you're detuning it, then you'd be getting two stations. That's not good. I want to show you this advertising on the Amperite, and that's what this uses, and it talks about 8 improvements at one stroke. And notice here where that it says at the top right, obsolete. You get rid of those two controls there with this one Amperite device. And so the manufacturer of this radio, I guess they literally believed the advertising, because they did away with both variable controls, variable resistors, rheostats, or whatever you want to call it. And they just put an Amperite in there. And you can look down here and you can see about all the advantages. I'll try to close up here a little bit if I can for a second. Now you can pause if you want to read that. Well, the truth is you do need some kind of a control for your volume, because on this, all this does is this controls the regeneration. That's all it is. It's coming off the Armstrong patent. Now, I modified this radio in a very unique way so that if you ever want to go back to the standard design, you can. Now, these are just extra O1As in here. I use this radio as a test radio to check out O1A tubes. Now I'm going to show you what I did. Here's the original Amperite, if I can get it out without breaking a tube. I don't like to break tubes. And this is what it looks like. So what I did to remedy the problem without having to drill any holes, any chassis modifications, right here is where that Amperite goes. I took a wooden dowel rod, cut it to length. I put a little screw in each end, and on the end of the screw I connected a wire. So now we have a connection, because this just plugs in. You have a connection now, and you have a wire off each connection. I brought it over here to a rheostat. Instead of drilling a hole in the chassis, I put an L bracket in here, mounted this rheostat to the L bracket, and then the L bracket is mounted to one of the original holes for the chassis. So now I can adjust it. Let me turn it on and I'll show you here. Now we've got a station turned in, complete with static. Now you can control it. A very simple.
There for Pete Alonso as well. White Sox, the Yankees, this one went to the Southsiders thanks to a 2-run blast from Oscar Colas. Swing and a smash in the air. Deep right center.
This is your regeneration control. On the distance station it might be a little more.
Well, the Chicago White Sox are under 500.
Work a little better.
Cool, that's great.
Now once again, low volume, and that's plenty loud.
Look at it this way, Oscar Colas. Well, a matchup that we could be seeing come
That's how loud it would be without that. So very simple solution. It works quite well. Solves the problem. You don't have to drill any holes. I'll turn that off. Don't have to drill any holes in anything. Don't have to modify the circuit itself. Since that plugs in, I simply unplug the amperite, put that in there, and all this is just a variable resistor. I'm just varying the 6-volt supply that comes off your battery to your tubes. The tubes are 5 volts, but originally these radios were made to run off a 6-volt storage battery. The amperite that was put in here basically would drop 1 volt, so the tubes would be operating on 5 volts all the time. With this control, you can vary it all the way down to 0, or I'm pretty close to 0. Yeah, it actually shuts off. Or you can vary it all the way up to 6 volts if you want to. Perfect solution, easy modification, and leave comments there if you want to, or questions. Thank you for watching, and I hope this will help you out in your servicing of these old antique radios. It's always better, if you can help, keep it as original as you can, because the next person that comes along, they may not know that you did the modifications to it. And I like to keep history pretty much as close to possible as can be. And I need to make a little note and place it somewhere about this not being original and that the amperite belongs there. But for now, that's all I have to say. Just for your comparison here, let me put the amperite. And that's what normally would be sitting in the socket. Okay, have a great one. And that's it.